Hi guys, here today to share with you a quick message about the fact that we are in what Rory Vaden calls in his book a harvest season with UBAM and what that means for you and your business. So you might be feeling the buzz as I am right now, that we are in a really lucrative time in our businesses in order to really grow our business. You know, UBAM has given us this amazing kit special in February, and no doubt you guys are seeing members of your team really excel and bring on many new team members, and you may be wondering, how are they doing that and how can I do that? Well, I want to share with you one myth of time management that really resonates with me in Rory's book, and when I forget this principle, I usually am really struggling in my personal life and my business. And that is this, guys. There is no such thing as work-life balance. Trying to get everything equal and spend equal amounts of time on family, on work, on other priorities in your life, that is going to drive you crazy and frustrate you. And more than that, it's not the way to achieve results in any of those arenas. And instead, Rory tells us that the way to achieve results, the way to get that efficacy, what he calls it, is not balance. Balance is a horrible metaphor for how we should spend our time, because the definition of balance is equal force in opposite directions. And that implies that to have work-life balance, you need to spend the same quantity of time on all areas of your life. And he says that that is impractical, and it's an impossible standard that we try to live up to, and we're destined to fail when we set that as our standard. And instead, he has looked at what ultra performers do and how they manage their time, because time is the one most valuable resource that we can't buy more of, right? You can have as much money in the world as you can possibly attain, and you cannot buy more time. And what Rory says is that at the end of the day, at least in our industry, we're not paid for the amount of time we work our business. We could work our business 15 hours a day. UBAM's not going to cut us a check for that, right? We're getting paid on our results. And the question is, how do we get amazing results using our time, the time that we do have, in the best manner possible? And the way to do that is not through balance, it's through imbalance. And he says that means intentionally focusing for short periods of time to create breakthrough results, okay? To like punch through to that next level in a short period of time, meaning there might be short periods of time where you have to give it your all. You have to become a little bit imbalanced. Maybe that means that you do spend more time working on your UBAM business for this month, this month that we had the kit special going on. Maybe you don't watch that extra show at night that you really want to see on Netflix, or maybe you spend focused time with your kids when they come home from school. You play a game with them for a couple of games of, right now my kids like Stratego, so I'll play a game of Stratego with Luke, I'll play a game of Stratego with Jake, and then I'll set them up with an activity for 40 minutes, or 45 minutes while I work on my business, because I understand that right now it's a harvest season with UBAM. We have this kit special. Guys, in March and April and following months, we're not allowed to help anyone buy a kit. That's actually against policy. So even if I had the money to help pay for other people's kits, I can't do that. I'm not allowed. We're not allowed to do that as consultants. So right now, when we have this kit special, it's a harvest season, meaning this is the time to become a little bit more imbalanced with UBAM, with work, with other things in your life. So I encourage you, give it your all right now during February. See what becomes of it. Because what Rory says, he says, when you become imbalanced at key times, and you have to discern when those times are, but when you do that and you create those breakthrough results, then it's easier to maintain that result with less time going forward. So if you spend a good amount of time with UBAM, if you really give it your all in February, and say you get 10 recruits, right? So that probably means March, you might not be spending as much time recruiting in March. Your focus is going to shift, and your season is going to look differently in March. So my point here with this little chat here is that it's important to recognize the season that you're in with UBAM. And right now, I'm recognizing that this is a harvest season, and it's a time to become intentionally imbalanced in my life, meaning I am going to intentionally give UBAM more hours of my day than I generally do. But during those hours, I'm going to use my time very wisely and put those hours towards recruiting, because I recognize that this is a season, and what Rory Vaden defines as a season is appropriate time spread across critical priorities. And that's different than balance. Balance is equal amounts of time spread across your priorities, and a season is appropriate amounts of time spread across critical priorities. So I challenge you, think about what season you're in. If you are feeling like you're really working incredibly hard right now, I encourage you to view it as a season. And I think that's a wise decision, to use the tools that Home Office is giving us and recognize that it's a season, that if you put your all in February, I at least think that's a wise move. Now, of course, you don't want to work yourself to the breaking point, but success requires hard work sometimes, and if there's any time to put in that hard work, it is now. So, and I just want to leave you guys with one other little caveat. So you might be, if you're like me, you're looking at the leaderboards occasionally, and I think that's exciting to see how many people are getting a lot of recruits right now. Two of those people are people on my team, and I'm incredibly proud of them, and I'm also in awe. But I read this quote in Rory's book, Take the Stairs, on page 127. When we are aware of the season we are in, and we are focused on maximizing the results of that season, we have natural clarity about our priorities, and as a byproduct, we get amplified synergy of our results. So if you're looking at those leaderboards, guys, and you're wondering, how are these people getting 10, 9, 8, 7 recruits, and it's only, February 5th? Well, I think that they are definitely aware of the season they are in. They're focused on maximizing the results of that season. They have natural clarity about their priorities right now. I doubt those people are thinking, oh, now's the time to really make my VIP group something fantastic. No, that might be a good thing to do in another month, but right now, when we have this kit special, that's the season we're in on team building. And as a byproduct, they're getting amplified synergy of their results. That's why you're seeing those big numbers up there for some of those people. And I'm inspired by them, and I'm inspired by this concept of seasons, and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good that, my house is a wreck right now, but that's okay, because I know, and my husband knows, that this is a season, and that right now I have to put more of my time into UBAM than I might have to in March or April or whenever. But I dictate that. I make that decision, and knowing that it doesn't last forever, that it does get better, that gives me a lot of peace. So I hope that you guys have gotten a little something from this talk. And great book. Of course, he's our convention speaker, guys. You got to come to convention to hear him talk in person. Bye-bye.